I got this a while ago, and I really want to use it. So I guess I'll do an intro. So this thing is called a soxhlet extractor. Everybody knows that, but something that I learned today when I was like, well, I want to use this thing because I have a couple hours before class, is why can't I just hook up a normal boiling flask to a normal condenser, um, and just like uh, reflux. So what I have here is coffee grounds. So the plan is to extract as much as I can out of coffee and then measure the difference in weight from the beginning to the end. And I don't know if I'm going to get to run this today because time is a big constraint here. I'm also recording on my phone because it seems like that got way more viewers for some reason. And so in any case, and the reason why you want to actually use this siphon method is that, so here's what happens. You put your solvent in here. So we're making coffee. We're making really strong coffee. And um, and I actually think that this is all brand new glassware. Um, I probably won't drink the first run, but I'll probably try to keep this food grade because this is a brand new flask. Let me see if I have a Sharpie. So I'm gonna write food on here. I mean, we'll see. But I'm gonna try to keep a boiling flask that's But I would want to wash this with dish soap and everything, and maybe even Anyways, so we're gonna put the coffee grounds in here, and actually let me rig this up before it's very tippy right now because it's only held at a couple of points. I got these new clamps, and I gotta say, so far I'm really liking the action on these. The other ones just felt so cheap, but these ones seem a little bit better. Okay, so hopefully they open wide enough. That's going to be the main concern for me. Yeah, I think they will. So let's loosen this up. Okay, that's about the right height. Okay, then we're going to move this here. Get that really nice and tight. Oh yeah. Okay. Now this feels pretty solid. The only thing that I really like to do that's extra is I like to use this clamp. You might need to try to move this a little bit over. And is it gonna reach? See, because now we're like earthquake ready. You know what I mean? Okay, so all right, so we can get back to the explanation of why even use this thing instead of just refluxing the solid in the solvent in a boiling flask and then condense it as normal. And the reason for that is this stuff that you so okay, so we're going to put water in here. It's going to evaporate. just by boiling it. It's going to come through this channel here, and then it's going to, I guess it can also go through this channel, but probably less so. And it's going to then come up here, and it's going to condense in this condenser, which you might not be able to see. I actually can do this. I don't know if that's... Anyways, so come up here. Then it's going to drip down onto the coffee. And now the coffee, obviously, what is it's going to make, it's going to infuse, it's going to extract. So we're going to be pulling out a bunch of organic compounds of the grounds. And then as the water level gets to here, and I think it's closed at the bottom here, but it's got to be closed at the bottom. So we want it to get to above this water level so that it will drain. Now, anyways, the whole point is that when you boil it again, fresh solvent will be condensing here, because presumably the boiling point of the things you're extracting have a higher boiling point than the solvent. That's at least my understanding. Okay, so that's that. So I think what I want to do is then get, well, I want to rig this up completely. So let's just try to figure this out, because there's always complications when using new equipment and stuff. Like, I don't know if I can get up this high. Okay, so what I have here is just a submersible pump that I'm going to attach a bunch of hoses to. Okay, seems fine. And now, these hoses. Okay, that seems good. Just try to get as much of this. And then now the return path hose. Man, that side is loose. I must have stretched it out. Oh man. Well, let's see if it leaks. I feel like it's actually fine. Alright, so let's test out the pump. Okay, seems good. Alright, so I'm going to turn it off for now. Alright, so that's great. That's great. No leaks, I think. So now, and I really wanted to do this properly. The whole point of this was for me to get my tripod and record a video, because I never make real videos. But I think for now, this is going to be good. Let's see. No, it's not for weed, bro. Stop asking. It's clearly not for weed. Although, I think... Let me think about this. So, okay, I actually looked into... And I'm only saying this because marijuana is legal and I'm of legal age. But there's actually a reason why you don't want to use this thing for marijuana. if you're trying to get the psychoactive compound out of it. So the psychoactive, um, okay, so we got to back up because the weed chemistry is actually pretty interesting. So the plant does not produce the psychoactive component. That's why you could eat marijuana and you would not experience any effects. What has to happen is a reaction that proceeds because of heat. So when you burn it, it actually turns the the compound called THCA, that is the non-active component, and it does what's called a decarboxylation reaction and changes that into the psychoactive THC molecule. Now, that's not exactly relevant for why this is not the right tool for the job. It is partially. So the reason why is if I were to put, let's say, so first off, THCA and THC are not water soluble. They really don't. If you were to put weed into a cup of water, really not a lot of it would leach out and extract. So what people typically use is an alcohol like ethanol, and ethanol is great because it's relatively food safe. You know, people drink it every day. Um, but it also has great solubility. But anyways, the point is that if I'm boiling ethanol and dumping it onto the marijuana, um, maybe some of that decarboxylation is going to happen, which is probably fine or whatever. But the most important reason why this is not the right tool for the job is that um, with heat, you're not only with hot ethanol, you're not only extracting the active or the stuff that you want. You're gonna get a bunch of like chlorophyll, a bunch of waxy substances, a bunch of other extra junk that you don't want is gonna be pulled out with it. And so the problem then is that you have to go through this process called winterization, which is pulling out all of that wax and getting rid of it. So what people typically do actually industrially is they chill the ethanol to like minus 40 degrees C, and then they do this extraction process not with a soxhlet but by flowing ethanol over the product that you want, and that way you can more selectively get the stuff that you want but leaving out some of the compounds that are soluble in ethanol at high temperatures but insoluble at low temperatures. And so that is actually something that I am kind of interested in trying at some point, but I would not use this tool. So that's a little background on why you could try to use this thing for weed, but it's like a dumb idea. I'm gonna get some coffee. Let's see, what does the chat say? Okay, so anyways, I hope that's a good explanation. All right, so let's see, what time is it? How much time do I have? Because I don't have. All right, it's 11:09. So I have like an hour and 45 minutes. I think I want to try it. If I have to tear this thing down quickly, then so be it. But so what I'm gonna do is go get some water. Measure out like 100 mils of water. We're gonna put the water. Actually, we're gonna measure out enough water to go to here, so that it siphons. So I'm gonna try to. So I'm actually gonna take the condenser off. Okay. And then we're gonna add water in here. So I'm gonna go get a cup of water. Then we're gonna measure out using this scale, like 45 grams of coffee. Okay, but I'll be back because I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is add in, like, let's see, do I have a funnel? I don't have a funnel with me. Or I do, but it's a powder funnel, and I don't want to get that wet. So let me go get a funnel. Oh wait, I do have a funnel. Oh wait, but no, it's not food. It's not a food funnel. All right, I'm just gonna pour it directly. Like, not a big deal. So I'm gonna do it in 100 ml increments because I don't know how much I need to fill by. I think I need to get cotton balls, and I don't know. I'm sure I have cotton balls, but I don't know where they're at. All right. So 250 ml graduated cylinder. I'm gonna try to, because I'm almost guaranteed gonna spill. Okay, so that's like 120. All right, just put in 120 and just see what's up. Okay, and that's like 130, so we're at like 250 right now. Okay, so I added, there's 75 left, it was 130. 130 minus 75, I think it's 65, right? No, it's 55. Yeah, so 55 plus 120. 55 plus 120 is 175. All right, so we can see it's draining, right? So that's kind of cool. So now, I gotta go get some cotton balls, and then we can weigh out our coffee. Okay, so let me just go find some cotton balls. Let's see. All right. Okay, I got the cotton balls. All right, so we get the cotton balls. So I'm just gonna drop them in here. And then, oh, I gotta go get a glass stir rod. So the point is that these these cotton balls are going to be used to like sandwich the grounds so that they don't leach into here, because otherwise they would just go into there. I'm just put it in my pocket. All right, so and they sell like exorbitantly priced special thimbles for this, but that's insane. So let me just go find the glass stir rod, and then we can measure out the coffee and start this thing. Okay, I'm back. All right, so let's do this thing. So I got these stoppers, which I have glass ones, but I don't know where they're at. I think I only bought like a 2-pack. I don't know, is that good? I've never done this before. All right, let's weigh out the coffee now. Let's see. Oh, this got wet. Okay, let's see if this works. I gotta... Oh, beautiful. Let me just put my gloves back on. All right. Okay, so 45 grams, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, pull the foam off, place this on, tear it. Okay, we're gonna do 40 grams. That's only 2? Really? Okay, maybe I'll just do like 20 grams. Let's do 15. We're gonna do 15. Okay, 14.98. It's good enough for me. So now, I don't know how clean this thing is, but it's clean enough. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting a little bit of grease so that they don't get stuck together. Okay. Now it's time to add my coffee. Oh, wait. Bro, I'm so stupid. What am I doing? Almost, because I got used to it. I thought that this was the right way. I gotta add it up here. Okay. 15 grams of coffee added. Now I'm just gonna add a bunch of cotton balls. I don't think we want to pack it too tightly, but I am one more. Okay, now I think we're ready. So I added the water. I didn't add any boiling chips, but it's like, I think it's fine. So now, we just need to heat this thing up and boil it. And the way that we're going to do that is by using this very janky setup. This thing is so sketch, man. So anyways, it's got a PID controller. So this thing is an Inkbird PID controller. Then it's got an outlet connected to it and a solid state relay and a thermocouple that comes out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up and drop a definitely get a little bit of clearance in there. Okay. Now this is probably my least favorite part of this whole thing, actually. But it's fine. So now we're going to plug in the heating mantle to the outlet. Okay. Now we're ready to re-add the condenser. Now okay. All right. So I think I'm good. Let's turn on the pump. Pump. Heating mantle. Stoppered. Okay, it's set to 115 degrees. I found that I need to turn it up like a lot more than that. So I'm gonna go to 145. And so now we kind of just wait, you know? Now we just wait. The worst part about streaming from my phone is I can't use my phone while I wait for boring stuff. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know, you know. You know, typically what people do is they cover this in aluminum foil. I said let's crank it up. Let's get this thing hot. The thimble is nice because with the cotton balls, you have to pack it down. And I'm a little bit concerned about that. But, you know, you gotta try things. Also, the only reason I'm not using goggles is we're literally just like making coffee. Just like fancy coffee. So, otherwise, I would definitely be doing goggles and stuff. So far, I'd say the biggest complaint that I've had, the frustration doing chemistry, is definitely dealing with heating conditions. Like, heating stuff is just annoying. Heating and cooling and oh shit. It's kind of annoying. Actually, I want to go get something. I have a new toy. Okay, so what this is something where I could put the thermometer into. So are we getting warm at all? Because I think that this will be better. Okay, that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rubber stopper out and put in this ground glass joint. Probably used a little too much grease there. And so the idea here is to so what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually I'm gonna turn the set point down to like 90 or like 105. Then I'm gonna pull this thing out of here. I'm gonna place it into this well. So now the heating mantle, the PID controller is gonna say turn on, turn on, turn on, because we're gonna stay at however hot for a long time until we actually start to get vapor condensing onto this thing. Plus, then I don't end up actually burning the plastic off of this thing, which I've done because it got so hot in between the heating mantle and the flask. So yeah, this is the way to go, man. I'm glad that I thought about that. Let's see, what's my battery at? Because the only thing I was kind of concerned about was battery. Actually, I'm doing pretty good. All right. How do I see how many views I got? Did I get any more views? I have no idea. So now we should be warming up pretty. Yeah, see, now we're getting pretty hot. So this thing will start to heat up. Because the output signal is just like slammed right now. Which is good. I probably should have put a Oh yeah, we can start to see some reflux here on the inside of the boiling flask, which is good. Currently, the thermometer is measuring 54. But typically, what I've seen in the past is it stays. But I guess that's when it's all the way up here. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Guys, in the future, I want to do this project. So I really like the biochemistry projects, like making the alcohol with just fermentation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use apple cider vinegar, which has the way they make it is by using this acetobacter, which is a specific type of bacteria, which I need to look into of how it metabolizes ethanol into acetic acid. But anyways, we're gonna make glacial acetic acid from. Okay, so we start to see some boiling in here. Glacial acetic acid from sugar, which is sick. That's really cool. So that's coming up. That's coming up this summer. Now we start to see some fogging here, I think. So that's good. This is going a lot more smoothly than my last chem. Actually, the last stream was bad, and then the last time I did something off stream was also bad. So this seems to be going pretty smoothly, though. This thing's got to be getting pretty hot. Okay, yeah, so the boiling flask is pretty hot now. So, you know, in a couple minutes, we'll start to see liquid dripping down onto the coffee, and we'll start to finally see that. I think I probably added too much water because you probably want to measure maybe like the volume of your payload or whatever you call it first. But you know, I don't know. But yeah, we're starting to see some boiling now. This is good. You can see steam is collecting up the. I guess I would call it a collection tube or something like that. I don't know what I'd call it. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, you can see it. It's collecting. It's dripping down now. The output signal has finally started to oscillate as opposed to just full force, which is good. I have the set point set for 100.3, which is just slightly higher than the boiling point of water. All right, so we're making coffee, you know, supposedly. We're pulling out organic compounds from the coffee that's in the soxhlet extractor. I'm so glad I decided to use this. This thermal well is like, oh, so much better than the freaking in between the mantle and the flask. I hated that because you don't get a good signal. It's just a bad signal. Yeah, I think we might be losing some water actually. This condenser doesn't seem to be as efficient as it could be. Cool. So that's what's going on. All right, so you know, now it's just a matter of being patient. You know, we're boiling water. We're condensing it. It's coming onto the cotton, coffee sandwich in between the cotton. It's clear that this thing, like all of these chem projects, is going to take significantly longer than I expected. Um, so now we wait. So we just need to wait, That's what we're doing here. We're waiting at this point. Can I zoom in? Nice. Let's see, if I go out, wait. This is the method. Use my phone. 183 views on this? What the hell? That's crazy. I never get that many views. I might just leave this running. I don't know. Is that sus? I feel like this thing is pretty safe to leave on its own. We can see that the coffee is getting wet, which is good. The cotton ball's getting pretty wet, but it's gonna be like definitely another hour. Let's see, what time is it? I got 1 hour left. I think I might just start cleaning up and leave it running. The thing is, if I get back at like 9 p.m., I got to clean this up at 9 p.m. That's kind of sounds terrible. Coffee and coffee. Also, I kind of want to be here for the first, like, thing. Should I be in the shot? I should probably be in the shot. One thing I've noticed though is that on the actually it's probably fine. I think I would feel pretty good if I washed all this stuff with dish soap and like really cleaned all of it. I would feel pretty good about consuming a small amount of whatever comes through this thing. Because, like, this has never been touched by anything but this. This is brand new, and this is brand new. So, and this is brand new. So, all of this stuff is going to be set aside for. So, I should get another couple of these thermo wells because I kind of want to separate the food stuff from the, like, anything that's going to touch something that could harm you. So we can start to see that there's a really dark black liquid, which is just strong coffee, pooling at the bottom of the extractor. Again, I want to reiterate, the only reason why you need this whole fancy, complicated, over-engineered thing is that you want to be introducing only fresh solvent to the coffee. Because otherwise, if it was just sitting in a pool of it, it could reach an equilibrium where it stops. I would be really interested to do a side by side comparison where we basically just like do a normal reflux and see if there's any truth to that whatsoever. What I would probably want to do is use a minority of water, or what's the opposite of excess? I would use an excess of coffee, and then we could see if like the fresh solvent thing really does get more out of it. It would also be interesting to. I wonder if they have pressurized soxhlet extractors because espresso is extraction under pressure, but I haven't seen any like chemistry stuff of pressure. Actually, that's not true. I think when they do like supercritical CO2 marijuana extractions, they use high pressure, but uh, and same with actually hydrocarbon extraction too. So, I guess I'm not. I guess they do. I'm wondering if I should add a little bit more water. Because are we starting to see any pooling? Not really. But see the preview, like when I go on OBS, the preview is like a thumbnail. Right now it's just the R. I'm gonna change the title of the video. Can I do that live? I'm not even in the shop. Oh wait. What's that? Oh, are we? All right. Oh, wait, check it out. The coffee is actually rising in the. That's great. That's so cool. That melody is just so good, dude. Components. Oh, I hate that I cut it off for that first minute and a half is like so good. When I sneeze, I go achoo. Ba, 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 da. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Da, da. Da, 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 da. God, I love that song. So one thing that's kind of weird is like, is it possible to get it blocked? I don't think so. I feel like that I'd have to. I do want to add like a small amount of extra water. Do I really want to do that? I'm trying to think. Okay, wait. So it's cleanup time. Cause I gotta go. All right. So let me put on my gloves. Just clean up as much as I can. Okay, so this is trash. Actually, the cleanup is pretty chill. All right, so I'm pretty much cleaned up. Let's go put some of this stuff away. I'll leave this in. I'm kind of concerned because the level hasn't risen. Like, I don't know what to do. Okay, well, let me... Alright, fuck. Alright, so how's it coming along? Oh, I'm blocking the shot. I'm definitely concerned about this. Like, is it... I think actually... it might be fine. I might be overreacting. I am gonna add a little bit more water though. Okay, just quickly. Okay, I don't know. An arbitrary amount of water was added. And that's that. So it's gonna stop the boiling, but it's fine. And the reason I'm doing this is just I'm a little bit concerned about the water getting too low. But you know, whatever. So I think now what I want to do is move this angle over here. Get another shot of this thing. Okay. Let's see if we can get this thing in the shot. It's fine. All right, so just, you know, because I see that there's two people here. So explanation of what this is. I mean, you can find this anywhere. I'm no special guy, but I bought this thing. So what this whole thing is called an extraction. And what we're doing is we're taking the compounds that are water soluble out of the coffee grounds. And we're doing that by basically boiling water. And this will end up being infused with our coffee in a moment. But we're boiling this water, it's traveling through this column, and then it's condensing really all along here, but it's mostly condensing up here in a special condenser that I have a pump running, well, room temperature water to. It should be cold, but, you know, but whatever. Anyways, once it condenses, it drops back down because it's in the liquid phase now, and it's going to then infuse with the coffee. So now we have hot solvent and our solid, you know, combining. And what's happening is as the liquid level rises, the infused comes up through this siphon tube. And what I have here is you can't even see it because it's so darkened by coffee, but I have cotton balls here, and that's just to prevent any solids from coming in and getting taken away into our boiling flask. But so what happens now is that once the liquid level reaches this top part, it's going to siphon out, and it's going to come and drain back into the boiling flask. So I'll just sit around here for maybe at most 30 more minutes and then end it, clean this up. But that's basically the idea. One thing that's really interesting, an observation that I have, is if you look right there, like there's a cavity that, like, I don't even know how this happened, but it's like, what is going on here? I'm really hoping that I catch it in time for the first tip. Dude, I gotta watch this video, bro. What the hell? Yes, every now and then, I don't know really what's going on, but you can't see it because of the height of this thing. I wish I could get more of this. I actually probably could. If I popped it out. I have another one of these. You know what? Since I'm just chilling, why are we getting out of focus? There we go. Maybe I'll try to see if I can make this longer. Because I have two of these. Why is the focus fucking... Focus on the real thing. There we go. Okay. Alright. Alright. Did run down my battery a lot, yeah. I'm gonna add some more water to the condenser. there's no way that that's gonna heat up now. Bro, Noir has showed up for every stream. I don't know. Dude's dedicated, man. It's so sick. One thing that I find confusing is like it leveled off, but then like if you it's too but I don't know, like the water level between here. Ah, fuck, it's hot. But yeah. They have swivel. Is this a swivel or a screw? No. Oh wait, Noir, are you still here? Dude, what's up, man? I didn't see it. All right, let me explain this thing. I've explained it a number of times, but I'm getting better at explaining it. So let's say that you have some sort of solid, like coffee grounds, and you want to extract, in our case, the water-soluble compounds from the coffee grounds. And you want to do that as efficiently as possible. Or you want to get the most out of it, let's say. So what's going on then is we are going to boil using this heating mantle. And so this heating mantle, which by the way is controlled by this cool PID controller, and it's going to boil this water. And we haven't gotten through a full cycle yet, but you'll see that this water will eventually turn brown. But what's happening is as the vapor travels up the path here, it reaches this condenser. This condenser then will basically cool down all of the vapor, turning it back into water. The water will then drip down onto this basket, which is basically coffee grounds sandwiched between cotton balls. So then what happens is, and you can see here, there's actually some weird layer stratification. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on this camera, but there's actually something very weird going on here. And, but in any case, what happens then is that we have this siphon tube. That's this special part of this glassware. So it's just kind of glass. But anyways, the liquid then travels up here. And when it reaches this point, it's going to fall back down and drain into our boiling flask. And so then we can get really strong coffee. And the thing that I'm interested in doing with this, it almost seems as though the liquid level is here and it's pushed the cotton balls and the coffee up somehow. Very weird. I wonder if I can like turn the condenser. Maybe get like a change it up a little bit. Yeah, because you probably want the lip of this thing to be opposite. All right, that's as far as I'm going to go. All right. So that's the description of this thing. And yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. Oh yeah, what I'm interested in doing is figuring out the change in mass. The easiest thing to do would actually be to just like reflux it, but I was kind of just curious about using this piece of glass that I got, so that's kind of all this is about. I'm really hoping that I can get, before I have to leave for class, I can get one of the loops to go over so that we can actually see it drain and get our coffee in the bottom here. But, you know, it looks like it's going pretty slowly still, unfortunately. Because I gotta leave at like 1. Even then, I'll probably be a little late for class. But, yeah, I feel great. This is so exciting, man. I like that this thing went really well. The biggest thing that made this start going so well is that I really don't like this PID controller when I put the thermocouple in between the heating mantle and the boiling flask. That just like, the signal is so noisy that you don't get a good reading. But with this thermo well, and you can actually measure, now like the readings actually make sense. Like if you look at the PID controller, which can we get it in the shot? It reads 96.3 is what the thermocouple is reading, and then I have the set point at 100.3. And typically when I did the old way, where I had the thermocouple sandwiched between here and I had a stopper here, I basically would get nonsensical readings, and I would just guess what temperature to set the set point at. But now I actually have, man, can you, okay, you guys can actually see this now because it's gotten way more prevalent. There's like a layer, there's like 2 layers here. There's like a light colored layer that's maybe yellow, and then a darker brown layer here. And it's really, really strange what has happened to this thing. Like, it's almost like the grounds are floating, basically. That's what it seems like. I wonder if I could push it down. It would be kind of hard to push it down. Actually, it wouldn't. Should I go get a thing and try to push it down? I don't really want to touch it because I don't want like the grounds to escape the cotton, kind of. But I just love the look of this tube, man. It's just this dark brown coffee liquid. It's so sick. Anyways, what I'm trying to do after this is I want to bake some habanero peppers and extract the capsaicin using an ethanol extraction. The reason why I want to use ethanol is I don't want to use like I want to use ethanol because then it's like safer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all of my glassware. This whole setup is going to get extensively cleaned. And then I'm going to put some peppers in here. Presumably, actually, I want to get something stronger than habaneros, but maybe for the first run, we'll just do habaneros. Man, I'm chilling. Okay, yeah. Since I only have a little bit of time. Okay, we're just gonna try to go in here quickly. Kind of. Oh, that was what I was afraid of. But I think it shouldn't. I think it actually shouldn't be such a problem. But that was a little bit what I was afraid of. But I'm trying to agitate it enough that we can get one cycle, because it's like we're so close. God, it looks gross at the top, bro. It looks disgusting. But that definitely helped. That was the move for sure. Come on, I got 10 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go get the other one of these and see if I can attach it. Okay, I don't want to miss it, but I don't think I'm gonna miss it. Pop this off of here. Let's just do this. Okay. This off of here. Wait. How the hell do you... How does this work? Damn, I don't think I can extend this without like a connector piece. Wait, actually, no. Never mind. Oh, what? What the hell? Are these not the same size? It's like the same size. So how is this so loose? Fuck. Okay, whatever. I can't do it. Alright. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. Wait. Okay, well, for the time being, we just gotta do this. And just hope for the best. Alright. Should I do the thing again? As long as the ones are at the bottom, I don't think it matters, right? I don't know, kind of messed it up, but... Oh my god, we're so close, dude. I gotta see this, dude. Oh my god, what is up with the focus? Oh, that's so fucked. I got like 7 minutes before I... Oh, come on, it's so close. Oh, oh, it's gonna happen. Oh, it's so close. It's gonna happen. We're like right there. Dude, we're like right there. Dude, come on, we're right there. Oh, there we go. We got it. We're so close. It's insane. We're like right there. Oh, I think it started. Wait, did it start? It's like I don't think it had. I can't tell. I'd be lying if I said I'm not a little nervous right now. Like, why isn't it tipping? Oh my God. Wow. I think I want to add some more water. All right, it's time to go to school. All right, that's it. That's what we do. All right, time to end the stream.